In this video, I want to teach you how to stream, how to get started with streaming. Now, am I doing this because I'm the most successful YouTube streamer ever? No. Like I don't really have a lot of concurrent viewers, and my YouTube channel is not in the millions. I can't even monetize my YouTube channel yet. So I'm not making this guide for the sake of making like trying to tell you how to be like successful numerically, right? Because even I'm not there yet. So if I say I can tell you how, like that would kind of be a lie. But I think the most important thing when you are streaming is the fact that you are having fun talking to a camera. And I think I'm doing a fairly good job of doing that. I can stay online for like over an hour just talking to myself in front of a camera, and I don't feel like I'm gonna die. And I do recall my first days of streaming where I thought I was going to die because it's so awkward and nobody's watching this and it's so embarrassing and like all that pause. So I definitely think that kind of if you think of streaming like that, streaming is gonna be very very difficult. And so I want to give you some tips around how to make streaming a more pleasurable experience for you, and kind of introduce you to like why I value streaming as a way of communicating with people. So, what's the value of streaming? Why would you stream um, instead of just making recorded videos? Well, recorded videos are good for packing kind of some of the information that you provide into a neatly kind of a contained start and an end kind of an experience, right? It's this unit of information that you can share. So it doesn't always have to be about like professional knowledge, right? A lot of channels are, but like even if it's entertainment, even if it's like something personal, a video has like a start and end. And you know what? Even if it's like a 15-minute video and you talk about multiple things, those videos tend to not do their job that well compared to contained videos, right? So I have a life coaching video YouTube channel. So when I talk about a life coaching topic, I not only do the videos that are contained to one topic generally perform better on YouTube, but at the same time, those videos tend to do a better job at communicating what I want to teach to the viewers, right? Because it doesn't go on and on and on across multiple different topics. So, videos are kind of isolated units of information that you share with your viewers. Now, stream is a little bit different because there's a very loosely defined start and end. And why this is important is you get to showcase kind of like unfiltered and unedited parts of you, which means your viewers have a chance to see the human of you. Because if you are a life coach or if you are kind of an entrepreneur who's always kind of in professional video settings only, then people start forming this like professional image of you, and they get used to the way you speak to a camera that's being recorded for the purposes of a video. Now, there's no inherent problem with that, but the thing is, when you take on clients and when you start talking to people one on one for your like paid offers or things like that, then there's a discrepancy with how you speak in videos that are professionally edited, and you talk without pauses and everything is like seamless and there's like professional transitions, and now they get to see the unfiltered you, right? With the pauses and with the and with the body gestures of like with the sneezes and coughing and like throat clearing and things like that. So this kind of the more you present yourself a certain way in your entrepreneurship, the the more kind of an inner resistance you can develop around showing yourself as you are. And I think a big part of the solopreneur experience is being so natural and kind of comfortable in your own skin, because why? It's exactly the experience that your clients are going to get, and that's so important. And now you don't have to have a video persona, you don't have to have a client persona. It becomes all part of one, which makes your business a more comfortable business to operate. And if you are a student of my business coaching, then you know I value um, you not expending energy for your business, because when you expend energy for your business, when your work is something that spends energy for you, then you always have to recover, then you always have to kind of retreat and go back into your shell, and that's a lot of lost time in my opinion, right? And so what I always encourage my students to think about, okay, like, is your work difficult? Does your work feel tough? Does your work feel like it spends energy instead of like invigorating you? Then you have to kind of reassess how you're approaching your business. So, streaming is one way to kind of really speed up that process, because why? It's so uncomfortable. So I told you the value of streaming now, which is that people get to see you for the human being that you are, and it makes your viewers and your potential buyers, it makes it so much easier to form an authentic relationship with you, because they get to know how you speak. And if you like come into a coaching session with me, this is exactly how I speak. This is how exactly how I talk to you. This is like, I use a different computer for coaching, but this is exactly the backdrop that you're gonna see in my coaching experience. So it's like you get a preview of what interactions with me are like. So that's the pros of it. But now the cons of streaming is that, number one, it's so difficult. Um, why? Because you're not used to talking to yourself in front of a camera. And to be completely honest with you, I think a lot of marketing problems are basically that. You can't talk to yourself in front of a camera. It feels awkward, it feels forced, it feels unnatural. So that is a big problem that you have to kind of learn how to tackle. And I think streaming is the most effective way to learn how to tackle that problem of like just talking to an empty audience. So that's the difficult part about streaming. And the second thing, second kind of the difficult part about streaming is it's a little bit technically involved. So with YouTube, with like self-contained videos, you can just take a video like with your phone or whatever, and then you can just upload it through the app, right? But yeah, you could use your phone to stream, and I've done that once or twice. But at the same time, like having a professional UI like this with the captions and the chat logs and everything, and I sometimes I play music, and I share my screens and things like that, right? Like so if you have these tools around you, it makes your streaming experience a lot better, right? But at the same time, these things are kind of like technically more challenging to put together. And there's a lot of easy tools to make this possible for you. But if you're not particularly a technical person, you may find it difficult to kind of like start the process of setting up your software like this. But um, it's a kind of a one-time thing. Once you set it up once, the you rarely need to touch it. So I guess that's kind of the good thing about well, the silver lining around this difficult part of streaming. Okay, and so how to do it? I recommend, this is the software that I use. It's called OBS Studio, and this application allows you to uh, pick a service and start streaming. So you can. Oh, and it's multi-platform, so it doesn't care if you're Windows or Mac or Linux. You can. I want to show you the entire. Can I share the OBS here? Okay, I can't like show you my screen, but you know what? Can I? Let me see. Display capture. Okay. Oh, cool. So now you're seeing my screen. So if you go to settings here, you will find that. Oh, well, you can't see. Oh, because I'm streaming right now. There's a bunch of other different options too. So you can pick like YouTube, you can pick like Twitch, you can pick Facebook Live, you can pick like all these other things. And so you have the option to kind of like pick whatever platform you want to be streaming on, and then you just enter your credentials into there, and then you can get started right away with OBS. So OBS Studio is the software that I recommend, but at the same time, if you are going to be streaming on a platform called Twitch, which is a specific platform, there's a version of OBS called Streamlabs, and this is, I think it's Windows only. So if you are using Windows to stream, Streamlabs OBS actually has, and if you are using Twitch, it has a lot more baked in features that are gonna make your streaming a lot more convenient. There's like less work to do. So OBS, the open source version, or the Streamlabs, I think are your choices. The second thing to keep I want to share is, let's see. So when you have a chat log, it makes the stream kind of more entertaining to view. But when you have the default chat log like this, it doesn't look that great. So there's a way to make the chat logs look good. And that is done by this website. This website allows you to kind of design what your chat logs are going to look like. I'm gonna paste the link here so that you can take a look at it later on. So if you want to set up the chat overlay like I do, you can use this website to kind of customize it, and you're gonna get this code as a result. So you copy this code and you put it in. This is the chat. If you go here, there's a way to enter a custom CSS. And when you input that code that you pasted from the website, then you can get, sorry, it looks really confusing, but you can get a chat log like this. And the rest of the OBS stuff is kind of self-explanatory. So I'm sure you can figure it out. But the chat log is kind of difficult to set up. So I wanted to make sure I give you the link for that. The closed captions that you're seeing right here is a plugin. And again, I'm gonna share it here. And there's a release, and they give you the instructions on how to install this once you download this plugin. So when you have this plugin, then you can set up the captions so that it is kind of baked into the video. So the advantage of baking your baking your captions into the video is it doesn't allow any other editing software to put your transcriptions. It just like does that for you. And in general, videos with captions tend to perform better than videos without captions, because a lot of people watch videos on their phone with the sound off. Okay, and so those are kind of the technical guidelines of streaming, and now I want to make sure I want to talk to you about how to develop that sense of streaming. And to be honest, that part is kind of the simple but the hard part. So if you want to stream, I highly recommend streaming at least an hour for a week. This is gonna be really hard, and if you come unprepared, you will spend a lot of time just kind of blankly staring into space, and it will be extremely uncomfortable knowing that you're kind of like, this is being shown to the entire world. Of course, you can set up the stream so it's private. So if you want to have a test run, go ahead. But at some point, you have to open your stream up to the public if you want to actually become a streamer, right? So if you do it for less than an hour, then it's easy. You just pick one topic and then you just talk about it, and then you just close the stream, right? That's kind of like it won't develop your long term kind of strategy around how to be a streamer. So how to be a streamer is kind of a different for everyone, but you get a chance to develop that sense when you are live for a prolonged amount of time consistently. And why I recommend at least an hour a week, and for a week, like every 7 days in sequence, is I started feeling something click around the week mark. And so that's why I give you this specific recommendation. It's something that I've done before. And now, aside from that, the only other thing that I want to, the only other thing, a tip is, if your stream, so when you watch other people stream, you will see that they do a lot of like interactions with chat. People ask chat for their opinions and things like that, and then they reply, and then you kind of get ideas from here. So chat kind of becomes your content, right? So you can do that when you are an established streamer. But when you're not, when you're beginning and no one's watching your streaming, no one's watching your stream, which is likely going to be the case for a fairly long amount of time, it will really hinder you when you the more you rely on your viewers. So a really important tip is to kind of expect there to be no viewers. Expect your viewers to join in for like a second or two and then close the stream, unless you're talking about something really enticing, right? So when you assume that no one's gonna watch your stream, number one, you don't get disappointed. Number two, you develop that sense of just kind of like talking on and on and on about something. Number three, you get to see like, oh, when I engage my topic like this, when I talk like this, when I do these things on stream, people tend to stick around for at least until that segment is over. So when rely really don't rely on your viewers kind of giving you feedback about what to talk about. Like, of course, you're welcome to kind of encourage it. So I always I like to periodically remind people, hey, join my Discord channel if you want to talk more, and you're welcome to like ask me any questions here. You can email me at billy@julylifecoach.com. I do all that spiel, but I don't expect my viewers to always feed me like ideas about what to do, because it's an ownership thing, right? This is my product. This is my offering. And if my offering relies on you, then it's like not really my offering, right? I'm kind of at the mercy of you. So don't fall into that trap simply because you see it a lot from other streamers. Other streamers are already established. They already have like a static set of viewers who always give you feedback no matter what you do. And it's kind of the goal of streaming, right? Building enough of those relationships so that the stream just kind of like builds itself. So I guess something to kind of really recognize is like streaming does become easier as time goes by, because you will the more consistently you do it, the more you will get like recurring viewers. And so it is important to kind of like keep that perspective. But again, the more you rely on your viewers, the worse of a time you're gonna have. Okay, so that is my guide to streaming 101, and I hope this helps if you're a new streamer. And have fun. It's fun for me.